channel. I'm Annie, and in this video I'm going to paint a piping plover mom and chick with watercolor. Hi! I'm a self-taught artist on a journey to learn to draw and show you my process, my progress, and what I've learned since I decided to draw a few years ago. You can follow my process during this video or just lean back and enjoy the cozy music and the cute birds. I'm painting this plover couple for Birbfest, which is a drawing challenge where you draw birds for the month of January, and the second bird was the piping plover. Have you seen the Pixar short Piper? I'm pretty sure it was inspired by this bird, or at least one of the plovers. If you haven't seen it, it's a super cute short film that I can totally recommend. It shows the nature of these birds, how they hunt for food on the beaches by running to the insects on their quite tall legs and running away from the water. It's quite funny and it's really cute. When I searched for references for the piping plover, I found a lot of pictures with mom birds and small chicks with them, and they were so freaking cute. I just had to choose a reference with the baby plover in it. After sketching my favorite pose onto the watercolor paper, I started to pick the colors for the bird. Unlike the Turako I painted last time, the plover has really light and muted colors, so I chose a more pastel color palette this time. For the whole Birbfest challenge, I used the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor, which is a Japanese type of watercolor. It's a bit different from the watercolor you can usually buy in Europe and I guess in other parts of the Western world, because it has a different binding ingredient which makes it less transparent and more opaque. They are a bit like between watercolor and gouache. And for the plover, I used the Nouveau set of the Kuretake watercolor, which has lighter, more muted and more pastel colors. It fits really well with the almost white flowers, but this set has its limitations, of which I will talk a bit more later. Painting with a palette like the Art Nouveau set also means that you don't really need to mix your colors. You can just use the pre-mixed pigments straight from the box. Actually, you cannot really mix a lot, because this set doesn't have primary colors and most of the pens already have white mixed in them. That's why they are so pastel. This time I really wanted to leave more of the white of the paper because the flowers have a lot of white in them, and I started to build up the colors slowly. I used the technique called glazing, where you layer the colors on top of each other. This way you reach the final value and color after a few different layers. For the beige or brown part of the bird, I mostly use this muted pink called Potter's Pink, and after the first water layer, I painted over it with a more opaque layer, trying to imitate the feather texture. I did the same with the baby plover, except for the feather texture, because the chick's feathers are shorter and much fluffier, and I really wanted to emphasize that. For the dark shadows, I use the color Old Mauve, which is a muted violet, and I mix a bit of the Potter's Pink into it. You say there is no violet in a piping plover? Well, yes, you're right, but I use purple and violet wherever I can. One, I like them very much. Two, I do anything to prevent using brown or grey. I also try to avoid using black in a watercolor painting, especially if the color palette is light. And this is what I wanted to mention about the limitations of the Art Nouveau palette. Almost all the colors have the same value. There are only one or two bright colors and not one really dark color. All the others are in the mid-range. This means all the colors look really nice together, but also it means you cannot really paint with a wide value range, which makes the painting flat. It was okay this time because this flower mom and baby had a cozy and fuzzy vibe, which didn't really need a strong pop, but with another animal I would have used some colors from the classic Kuretake set, which has really nice dark indigo, green and violet to substitute for black. After the dark shadows, I painted a layer on top of everything with the pale aqua color for the lighter shadows. My reference was a sunny photo on the beach where these flowers live, so the shadows could not be really dark. And why blue for the shadows, you ask? If we are outside on a sunny day, the shadows are blue most of the time because where you block the sun, the objects reflect the light and color from the sky. After every layer dried, I went over the whole painting again to give more details, mostly to the fluffy feathers of the flower chick and the bigger feathers for the mom. For this I used different mixtures of the old mauve and the Butters pink colors. To give the whole scene a base, I painted the shadow under the flowers with a mixture of the pale aqua and the old mauve. And of course, I gave life to my bird with a tiny bit of highlight. This piping plover mom and baby turned out super cute, I think. I'm really happy with them. They look really adorable, cozy and light. Shifting the values to the lighter range was a good idea, even though later the scanner couldn't pick up some of the colors. So the digital version is not as detailed as the original. And this is the final painting showing how the original and the scanned versions are quite different. My dream for this year, 2025, is to sell my art online and table at conventions, and you can actually help me. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and check out my Ko-fi link in the description below to support my art journey. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!